Alright, review family. Black metal is a genre that has been associated with so many one-man projects throughout the years, and all of the artists, generally speaking, like to be evil and enigmatic, just overall mysterious. So, for me to tell you that there is an artist that is completely pretty, damn anonymous and enigmatic and mysterious just overall isn't going to come as much of a surprise. But there's a project that has been blowing up in the underground recently for two specific records that have dropped this year, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. I'm not sure what I'm going to be titling this video because I can't put any of the albums in the title because they are just too damn long. That being Trhä. I do not know if I am pronouncing this artist's name correctly, but I'm currently on both Bandcamp and Metal Archives to help with pronunciation so I can remember. I have been smitten by this project. There's a new record coming out, I believe, on August 16th, and I heard of it via Rites of Pestilence, which that's a great channel if you want to see some promotions of just underground releases from everything from black metal to death metal to doom metal. They do a little bit of everything, but most notably are kind of on the more underground experimental black metal side of things. And this project caught my eye for the album arts. They just seemed very pretty, but there was also this lonesome nature to them. And I checked out the first record of 2022, which blew the hell up. And what surprised me is usually when there are these very underground black metal or just metal projects in general, when I check them out on Bandcamp, you really don't see the supported by section being that long. But for these records, there are comments and there are supporters and there are so many people listening to these records and feeling a deep emotional connection to them, myself included. And that's the thing that surprised me. Now, if you look at the titles of these things, I can't even begin to pronounce these two records that have been released this year because the artist performs in a language, and once again, I'm probably going to butcher this, by the name of Hadalhaj, which is a fictional language that was created by the artist. And that really piqued my interest because I took a massive interest when I was younger into, and I still do, into cryptograms and nanograms and deciphering and codes and secret, codes to, decrypt and figure out some sort of secret, and that's sort of adding to the mystery here. The thing that really sort of intrigued me as well about this project is when I looked under the Metal Archives, and that's what I'm looking at right now, that's the artist's name is also in this fictional language. This project has linkage, and I'm not sure if this is implying that the creator is also the creator of these projects, but there are other bands that are listed here, such as Life, Liminal Dream, Sadness, and Open Letter, Born in Abomination, Left Alone, and if that is the case and he is the mastermind behind these projects, this guy is very well versed in making atmospheric black metal a foreboding, lonesome, depressive atmosphere that just engulfs everything. Sadness has been a project I've wanted to collect some material from because I love the sound of that project. If you're a fan of depressive black metal that is more on the atmospheric side of things, check out the band Sadness. Love the material. It's almost like shoegazy and post-metal-ish, a la Death Heaven, but sometimes not as corny. But what about this project? What about this project is clicking with people? What would you expect if you're stepping into it? Well, first off, I want to say, don't take my word for it and check this project out for yourself. I would love to review this new record if I could find a way to do it, but I'm probably not going to be able to. It will probably end up on my best of the year and year list because I just can't review it because it's such a large title. But what this band is, or what this project is, this solo project, it's an atmospheric black metal band with a lot of the hallmarks of a band like Trhä, or I would say Paysage d'Hiver is a good comparison. The production is very brittle and very raw, but unlike a project like Trhä or, say, Profanatica or Lamp of Murmur or just anything from Paysage d'Hiver, it's very similar to these projects in the production department, but there's something so much more brittle and harsh and unwelcoming and toxic about this record's atmosphere, but it makes you feel like you're supposed to be engrossed in the beauty. there are so many icy synths across this record, and they're layered in this dark ambient sort of way, similar to what you get from a lot of solo black metal projects that dabble in synths and ambience to provide this atmosphere of like the synths providing this cold, desperate, desolate area, vibe. That's the aesthetic of this record. Paysage d'hiver is probably the best explanation and comparison I can give for this project, but that doesn't in any shape or form explain the full extent of the pure visceral response I've gotten listening to this project. It makes you feel hopeless, and it makes you feel hopeful at the same time. It crushes you, it is a weight. And when I say this production is even more sharp and brittle and unwelcoming than anything that Paysage d'hiver has done, I genuinely mean that. Progressively, this record, even though it's sometimes hard to make heads or tails of the production, and you sometimes have to listen to something quite a few times to get any sort of impression of what this project is entailing or what the hell you're hearing audibly, it's a progressively well-made project. Like, I found that these two records that have been released this year, I know that the project has been releasing content since, I believe it said 2020. And I haven't checked out the 2020 and 2021 releases because I've been focused on the current. But it seems like this is where the project's coming to its own. Because the records that were released back in 2020 and 2021, as well as some a split, I should say, in 3 EPs, the titles are a lot more tangible. They're shorter. So it gives me the impression that there is some statement being made with these two recent records, and I can perfectly understand that. Technically, even though they're very face value, raw, atmospheric black metal, there is a layer of cacophony and a layer of chaos and such a rawness to the vocals and rawness to the atmosphere that even the moments where it's supposed to be pretty and gorgeous with the synths and especially the pianos, there's this piercing effect to it, this impaling effect to it. I've been having so much trouble making heads or tails of this project because I'm so intrigued by the anonymity, I'm so intrigued by the sound, the titles, the language, just how progressively dense this thing is. And even if we know the identity now of the person behind it, I still think it's pretty anonymous because there's something that's hit me differently than any of the projects associated with this creator, and that goes for someone that has enjoyed Sadness's work in the past. It is one of the coolest projects I've heard this year. Have made 2 of the coolest black metal releases I've heard this year. And I want to see what you guys think and if you can make heads or tails of this project, because I certainly cannot. This thing is harsh, but it's giving a very visceral response to a lot of people, including me, so maybe it will for you guys as well. But let me know what you think of this project, Trhä, I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about this project. I would love to hear it. I'm going to put the links to these records in a pinned comment in the comment section below if you want to check them out for yourself. But be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.